Okay, for 5-4, for these ones right here, in the instructions, it actually told you what to do. It said to find the complementary angles of the cofunctions. So these guys right here are cofunctions because you have sine and cosine. You have tangent and cotangent. So those are cofunctions. And then they told you that their angles were going to be complementary. So that means that this angle plus this angle has to add up to 90 degrees, or in this case, since it's radians, pi over 2. This angle plus this angle have to add up to 90 degrees, or pi over 2. So you already have pi over 4, so you have to find another angle to add to it that gives you pi over 2. So what plus pi over 4 gives you pi over 2? Well, if you can't do that mentally, then take the total and subtract pi over 4, get a common denominator, subtract, and you get pi over 4. So the complementary angle is pi over 4. Same thing over up here. You want pi over 3 plus some angle to be pi over 2. If you can't do it mentally, it's okay. Take the total, subtract pi over 3, get a common denominator. So this would be 3 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, which you get pi over 6. Down here, they wanted you to find the two missing sides. I did some of these in the notes. And so you've got to look at, first of all, decide what you're going to solve for. I'm going to solve for B first. And then you're going to look at the sides that you're dealing with. This is opposite of angle 30 degrees. This is adjacent. So of your three trig functions, tangent of an angle is opposite over adjacent. So you go in and fill in the missing values. So we have tangent of 30 degrees equals opposite, which is 7, over adjacent, which is B. And then you can solve this. And so you multiply both sides by B first to get that out of the denominator. And then divide both sides by tangent of 30. And then pick up your calculator and do 7 divided by tangent of 30. Oops, gotta find C. So once you get B, then you have the opposite and the adjacent. This is a right triangle, so you could do a squared plus b squared equals c squared and find out what c is. Or you could write another trig function and say opposite and hypotenuse. The formula that is opposite and hypotenuse is the sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So my angle again is 30 degrees. The opposite is 7 over the hypotenuse. I don't know what that is. Multiply both sides by the hypotenuse to get it out of the denominator. So you have C, or the hypotenuse, times the sine of 30 degrees equals 7. Divide both sides by the sine of 30, and then that will give you what C is equal to. Same thing is happening over here. They gave you this information. I drew this triangle. The only thing you need to be careful of when you draw the triangle is angle A, across from that is side angle, side A, and angle C is always your right angle, and side C is across from that, and then little b is going to be across from angle B. So that's how I labeled all that. Again, if you decide you're going to find A first, both 3.5, your given side, and A are legs. This leg is opposite, this leg is adjacent. So the formula that has to do with opposite and adjacent is tangent. So you do tangent of 78 degrees equals the opposite, A, over the adjacent, 3.5. Multiply both sides by 3.5 to get it out of the denominator. Pick up your calculator, make sure it's in degrees, put that in the calculator, and you have what A is equal to. Once again, once you have what A is equal to, you can use the Pythagorean theorem, or you can find C, again, by using adjacent, the given side, and C, which is your hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So you can plug in your angle, 78 degrees, adjacent is 3.5 over c, multiply both sides by c to get it out of the denominator, then divide, so your c value equals 3.5 over the cosine of 78 degrees. Again, put that in the calculator.